Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. Today another exciting episode where we explore some of the most fascinating and valuable coins in the world. Today, we're diving into a small but mighty piece of American history, the USA wheat penny from 1944. Believe it or not, this little copper coin holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, and its value may surprise you. Stick around, because at the end of this video, we'll reveal just how much this coin can be worth today. Hint, we're talking six figures. Let's take a step back in time to the year 1944. The United States was in the midst of World War II, and resources were being carefully rationed for the war effort. Copper, which was used to make pennies, was in short supply. In 1943, the U.S. Mint actually produced pennies made of steel to conserve copper. However, in 1944, the mint returned to using copper, but with a twist. The pennies were made from recycled shell casings from the battlefield, which adds a deep historical layer to the 1944 wheat penny. Now let's take a closer look at the design of the 1944 wheat penny. On the obverse, we see the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, a design that was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The fine details of Lincoln's profile have made this coin a beloved classic among Americans. On the reverse, we have the iconic wheat ears, a symbol of prosperity and growth, surrounding the phrase, 1 cent and United States of America. This reverse design was used from 1909 until 1958, and these coins are affectionately known as wheat pennies or wheaties among collectors. At the very top of the reverse, we also see the phrase, e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, a nod to the unity of the American people. The 1944 wheat penny is composed primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, unlike the steel pennies minted in 1943. As we mentioned earlier, the copper used in these pennies came from recycled shell casings, giving this coin a unique historical significance. The coin weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. Even though it's a small and humble coin, its connection to wartime America makes it truly special. Here's where things get really interesting. While millions of 1944 wheat pennies were minted, there are some rare variations that are highly sought after by collectors. One of the most famous is the 1944 steel wheat penny. Yes, you heard that right. Due to a minting error, some 1944 pennies were struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943. These error coins are extremely rare and can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. Other errors, like double strikes or off-center strikes, can also increase the value of your 1944 wheat penny. So if you have one of these coins, it's worth examining it closely for any of these rare mistakes. As with any coin, the condition of your 1944 wheat penny is crucial in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, MS 70, with mint state coins being those that show no signs of wear. If your 1944 wheat penny is heavily circulated, it may show signs of wear, such as smoothness on Lincoln's portrait or the wheat ears on the reverse. However, if you're lucky enough to have a mint state or uncirculated 1944 wheat penny, you're looking at a much higher value. A mint state coin can showcase stunning detail and shine, making it a highly desirable piece for collectors. Now, let's talk about the market demand for the 1944 wheat penny. Despite being over 75 years old, these pennies are still highly collectible, especially among American coin enthusiasts. Coins from this era are becoming harder to find in high-grade condition, which has driven up their value in recent years. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the 1944 wheat penny is a coin that many want to add to their collection. Its connection to World War II and its historical significance make it a prized possession. So, how much is your 1944 wheat penny really worth today? Well, it depends on the condition and whether you have any of those rare minting errors we mentioned earlier. But even without errors, a mint state 1944 wheat penny can fetch a significant price. In fact, a well-preserved, mint state 1944 wheat penny could be worth up to an astounding $173,000. That's right. This seemingly ordinary penny could bring you a six-figure payout if it's in pristine condition and hits the auction block at the right time. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of the 1944 wheat penny. If you're a coin enthusiast or just love uncovering hidden treasures, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. The top 2 penny of USA, we're zooming in on a post-war classic, the 1949 wheat penny. This little copper coin might just be sitting in your collection, or you might even have one tucked away in your wallet right now. But did you know that it could be worth a fortune? Stick around until the end of the video to discover the jaw-dropping value this coin can hold, with prices reaching as high as $152,000. Let's journey back to 1949, a time when the United States was rebuilding from the aftermath of World War II. The economy was booming, and America was entering a period of growth and prosperity. Coins like the 1949 wheat penny were an everyday part of life for millions of Americans. But what makes this penny so special? Well, beyond its everyday use, it represents a slice of post-war America, a time when the world was changing rapidly. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1949 wheat penny. On the obverse, we see the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This image has been featured on U.S. pennies since 1909, in honor of the centennial of Lincoln's birth. The detail of Lincoln's profile, even on such a small surface, is quite remarkable, and on the reverse, we have the famous wheat ears design. This reverse design, which was used from 1909 until 1958, features 2 wheat stalks framing the words, 1 cent and United States of America. At the top of the reverse side is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, a fitting message for a nation recovering and growing after the war. The 1949 wheat penny is made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which was the standard composition for U.S. pennies at the time. It weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. Although it's a small and unassuming coin, its historical significance and enduring popularity with collectors make it much more than meets the eye. Now, here's where things get even more exciting. While millions of 1949 wheat pennies were produced, there are some rare and valuable error coins out there. One of the most sought-after types is the double die error, where the coin's details appear to have been struck twice, creating a slightly blurred or doubled image. Another error to watch out for is the off-center strike, where the design is misaligned, making the coin even more unique. If you happen to find one of these rare error pennies in your collection, you're in for a pleasant surprise. Their value can skyrocket well beyond the average wheat penny's worth. As with all collectible coins, the value of your 1949 wheat penny depends heavily on its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS, 70, with the higher grades being the most valuable. If your penny has been in circulation for decades, it might show signs of wear, like a faded design or smoothing of Lincoln's profile and the wheat ears on the reverse. However, if you're lucky enough to have a mint state penny, one that looks nearly untouched, it could be worth significantly more. Even a penny with light circulation and minimal wear can still hold great value, but a mint state 1949 wheat penny could be a game changer. When examining your 1949 wheat penny, it's also important to look for the mint mark. There are 3 main possibilities for 1949 pennies. 1. No mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. 2. A D mint mark, indicating it was struck in Denver. 3. An S mint mark, meaning it was minted in San Francisco. The mint mark can make a significant difference in the coin's value, with certain mints being rarer than others. For example, pennies from the San Francisco Mint tend to be more collectible due to lower production numbers. With its historical significance and classic design, the 1949 wheat penny remains a favorite among collectors. As time passes, coins from this era are becoming increasingly difficult to find in high-grade condition, which has boosted their demand in the numismatic market. If you've got one of these coins sitting in your collection, now might be the perfect time to have it evaluated. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, the 1949 wheat penny is a valuable and fascinating piece of American history that's worth holding on to. So, what is the 1949 wheat penny really worth today? Well, it all depends on its condition, rarity, and whether you've got one of those special error coins we talked about earlier. But even without any errors, a well-preserved 1949 wheat penny in mint state can command a hefty price in the collector's market. In fact, a mint state 1949 wheat penny could be worth up to a staggering $152,000. That's right. This small piece of copper from 1949 could be your ticket to a six-figure payday if it's in top-notch condition and catches the eye of the right buyer. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the world of the 1949 wheat penny. If you love learning about rare coins and uncovering hidden treasures, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. In the last but not least, widely collected coins in American numismatics, the 1957 wheat penny. This tiny copper coin holds an incredible piece of history, and you won't believe the value it can fetch in today's market. Be sure to stick around till the end, as I'll reveal just how much this humble coin could be worth, up to a jaw-dropping $133,000. To truly appreciate the 1957 wheat penny, let's take a trip back in time. It was the late 1950s, and America was in a golden age. The post-World War II boom was in full swing, and life for many Americans was filled with optimism and growth. In this era of prosperity, the wheat penny was an everyday part of life, jangling in pockets and passing hands at grocery stores, diners, and gas stations. The wheat penny design itself had been in circulation since 1909, commemorating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. While the penny might seem ordinary to most, collectors know that its history and significance are anything but. Let's take a closer look at the design of this coin. The obverse features the classic Lincoln profile that we all recognize, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's strong and iconic image was chosen to represent America's values of freedom and unity. The details in his profile, the beard, the expression, are beautifully captured. Even on a coin as small as this. On the reverse, we have the famous wheat ears design. This design, with two wheat stalks flanking the words, 1 cent and United States of America, was used from 1909 to 1958, making the 1957 wheat penny one of the last in this series before the Lincoln Memorial reverse debuted in 1959. The wheat penny's reverse symbolizes agricultural prosperity and growth, perfect for a nation on the rise. The 1957 wheat penny is made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition that was standard for pennies at the time. It weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. This small but mighty coin has stood the test of time, and collectors love the beautiful copper color, especially when it remains in pristine condition. Over the years, many of these pennies have developed a rich patina, adding to their unique charm. Now, one of the most thrilling aspects of collecting coins like the 1957 wheat penny is hunting for those rare mint errors that can significantly increase the coin's value. For example, double die errors are highly sought after by collectors. In these coins, parts of the design, such as the date or lettering, appear to be struck twice, creating a doubled effect. Another error to keep an eye out for is the off-center strike, where the design is shifted off the center of the coin, giving it an unusual and rare appearance. These types of errors are not just fascinating, they can make a common coin far more valuable. The scene transitions to a collector carefully examining a 1957 wheat penny under magnification, showing various grades from circulated to mint condition. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70. A heavily circulated 1957 wheat penny with noticeable wear and tear might only be worth its face value. However, a coin in mint state, where all the details are sharp, and the luster is intact, can fetch an astonishing price. Even a lightly circulated penny can hold considerable value, but the MS-65 to MS-67 range is where things start getting exciting for collectors. These high-grade coins are virtually flawless, making them a treasure to find. Another important factor that affects the value of your 1957 wheat penny is the mint mark. For this year, you might see two possible mint marks. 1. No mint mark, which means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. 2. A D mint mark, indicating it was produced in Denver. While both versions are common, pennies from Denver can sometimes carry a slightly higher premium, especially in top-notch condition. The key here is to look for any standout features like high-grade preservation or mint errors, which could push your penny's value into a whole new category. The demand for wheat pennies, especially from the 1950s, has been on the rise in recent years. Whether due to nostalgia, the historic appeal of Lincoln's image, or simply the beauty of the coin, collectors are eager to get their hands on high-quality pieces. As these pennies become scarcer in good condition, their value continues to increase. The 1957 wheat penny is no exception, and if you've got one sitting in a collection, you might want to take a closer look at its condition. It could be more valuable than you think. So, what is the 1957 wheat penny really worth today? Well, as we've discussed, its value depends on a number of factors: its condition, mint mark, and whether it has any rare mint errors. A circulated coin might only be worth a few cents, but a well-preserved, high-grade 1957 wheat penny could be worth much, much more. In fact, a mint-state 1957 wheat penny, with all the right characteristics, could be worth up to $133,000. That's right, this little copper coin could bring in an incredible payday if it's in pristine condition. Thank you for joining me today as we explored the fascinating world of the 1957 wheat penny. If you're a coin collector or just love learning about hidden treasures, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.